Good morning, your name?
Sean Pope.
Mr. Pope, you are here in case number 19 CF 10147. You were arrested for robbery with a firearm. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There is probable cause. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Pope's case, looking at the four corners of the original affidavit, it came in as a juvenile that was direct filed to adult court or circuit court. We believe the defendant should be held at no bond. The victim positively identified him as she was walking home from 7-Eleven. He approached her, put the black handgun up to the side of her face and told her to get on the ground. As she laid there, he rifled through her pockets, asked if she had anything of value. She did not. She said she only had her debit card. He took the debit card out of her pocket, and the co-defendant came up with a silver handgun. And at that point, he said that Roshi is a girl, and then they both fled. The K-9 unit was called and they were tracked down this defendant soon after, and the victim positively identified him as the robber with the black handgun.
Mr. Wynn?
Your Honor, we'll leave it within the discretion of the court.
At this time, I believe that the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption grade based upon what's contained in the affidavit. And I'm not going to exercise my discretion, Mr. Wynn, to set a bond at this time. You can file a bond motion downtown. So bond will remain set at none. He's not to have, sir, you're not to have any contact with Shadeja Williams, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also have no contact with the co-defendant.
Yes, you're not to have any contact with your co-defendant as well, sir. Do you also understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Darren Speech?
Mr. Spates, is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County for robbery. Your bond is $5,000. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, when you get to Osceola County, you'll see a judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Is this an add-on? Because this is done yesterday. This is DLC. This one was no I, okay. All right. Sir, good morning, your name?
DeKevius Burton, ma'am.
Mr. Burton, you were here in 19 CF 8553. This is for a determination of counsel hearing.
Don't determination mean cut, like drop?
No, it just means we're gonna decide if you qualify for the public defender. You're asking for a lawyer to be appointed, and I don't see an affidavit. So, Mr. Burton, do you have a job?
No.
No. Okay, do you have any source of income? Based upon your testimony, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'll also appoint them in 19 CF 7372. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance, 2 counts, petty theft with a prior conviction, and loitering and prowling.
So I'm getting I'm getting one on 2 different cases. I should only have one case, and I should have the other ones. I should have a public defender on it already. I talk to him every day. Well, not every day, but
I
when
have
I can.
2 cases here, Mr. Burton. One, you already saw the initial appearance judge and probable cause was found. I believe what happened was the public defender was not appointed for some reason, so there was no one appointed. You have a new case, another case that you have not seen a judge on, and that's what I'm advising you of this morning.
So it's charges for today, new charges
These
today.
are new charges for today. Yes.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Burton, there's probable cause for the offenses. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Bond on count 2 will be $150. Bond on count 3 is $100, and bond on count 4 is $100. All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
George Larry Moore.
Mr. Moore, you are here in case number 19 CF 2081. You failed to appear for case management conference on July 10th of this year. Your bond is currently set at none, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. And then in 19 CF 7135, I'll take no action on that case at this time, sir.
I didn't even receive a court date.
Okay, you need to talk to your lawyer about that, and they'll have to file a motion with the trial judge regarding the failure to appear. Ma'am, good morning, your name?
Jessica Tuckwiller.
Ms. Tuckwiller, this is 19 CF 10131. You were arrested for possession of fentanyl and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. At this time, ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with your lawyer. That way you have notice of your court date. If you fail to appear for court, they will issue a no bond warrant for your arrest, ma'am. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Rakia Abdurrahman.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 19 CF 10065. You were arrested for aggravated battery. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with Raymond Rance, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. Your bond is $1,000, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Maxwell Anthony.
Paige, is there an updated face sheet for Mr. Anthony? Mine does not have any information on it.
Here's what convictions, but he does have a warrant out of Fernando County for possession of controlled substance that has a $1,000 bond.
Okay. But there's no prior history or anything like that, just that warrant? Okay. Mr. Anthony,
Yes, ma'am.
you were arrested for possession of amphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, sir. You need to stay in touch with your lawyer, so you get notice of your court date. If you fail to show up for court, they will issue a no bond warrant for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
I'm-
Good morning, Your Honor.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Matt Rye. Last name is spelled R-Y-G-H, in for Eric Barker on behalf of Thomas Fischetto.
Tell me the last name again?
My last name is
No.
Rye. His is
Yes.
Fischetto, F-I-S-C-H-E-T-T-O. Barker is common spelling. If I can get a copy of the paperwork as well from the clerk
Of the arrest affidavit?
for the arrest affidavit, that would be great, if I could.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Wright, do you want to take a minute to review that paperwork and then we can recall your case?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. May I approach?
Sure.
Thank you.
Stepping onto the side sheet. Dexter, will you move up this gentleman here? Oh, that's Mr. Fischetto. Can we call a couple cases while we're waiting?
Yes.
Is that okay? Okay. Mr. Jones, remind me of your client's name again?
Carlos Negron, Your Honor.
Negron, that's right. All right. This is 19MM 5937, Carlos Negron. Yeah, I reset Mr. Negron's case from yesterday. He was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. However, he had 2 out on bond cases that your office represented him on, and I wanted him to be able to speak with you before he proceeded.
We appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you. If we're planning on taking some action regarding the cases that he's out on bond on, I'd like to argue PC. If we're not, then we can just get out of here quickly.
That was why I wanted him to be able to speak with you yesterday. Certainly, he wasn't represented by counsel yesterday. You could go ahead and argue for the probable cause there. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. So, Mr. Negron has been arrested for possession of paraphernalia. However, the arrest affidavit is lacking as to several aspects of what's required for constructive possession. In this case, there's no allegation that what was found is in plain sight. Therefore, knowledge cannot be inferred. There is nothing from Mr. Negron stating that he has knowledge, so there's nothing as to that element. As far as possession goes, more generally, it's a jointly possessed vehicle. So as far as the exclusive ability to exercise dominion and control, that can't be inferred either because of the presence of the other individual. So we're lacking as to 2 of the 4 elements of constructive possession. And finally, because the allegations are a brown spoon, we're even lacking the well, I'm not sure which of the items that are in the car that are accusing him of being paraphernalia, but we're even lacking the ability to infer that knowledge of whatever residue is on these things constitutes some drug to make it drug paraphernalia. A syringe by itself isn't paraphernalia. A spoon by itself isn't paraphernalia, nor are baggies. So without any statements, without any outside evidence or corroborating evidence, we're lacking 3 of the 4 elements.
State.
It does not allege the type of substance. State can request 24 hours to have that officer provide that information.
Mr. Jones, could you announce your name again for the record?
Oh,
The
I-
court reporter didn't hear it.
Yes, Your Honor. Benjamin Jones on behalf of Carlos Negron.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I was incorrect. No, I read it at the last line of this, or last paragraph. Well, it says, it was Bill tested positively for heroin. Your Honor, state's argument would be that two persons can jointly possess an item. And so I don't believe the defense's argument on only one person having dominion and control would apply. If they both were using, I'm not saying they were, hypothetically, if they both were using, they both would be in joint possession of it and have dominion and control over it. I believe the location of it, the fact that this defendant was the driver of the vehicle which the items were found in, is enough probable cause at this stage.
Even if the ability to exercise dominion and control is established, we're still lacking the knowledge because the items weren't in plain view. And in fact, if we are being intellectually honest, someone giving law enforcement permission to search their car would seem to be objective evidence that he doesn't have knowledge of something in there.
Do you have the other piece in yours? I don't have the forms from yesterday for his auto bonds. Did Mr. Negron bond out on the first case without going to initial appearance? I just don't see any, like, initial appearance paperwork.
Your Honor, Mr. Negron believes he actually saw you for initial appearance.
No, I think he saw me yesterday, but he bonded, it looks like he was arrested on the 3rd and then he posted bond. Or he was arrested on the 2nd, I just don't see, Jenny, do you see any paperwork?
Arrested on the second and bonded on the second. No, I.
Okay, no, okay, so there was no conditions put on him for that, okay. All right, I do think that there is probable cause for the new, law offense. The needle is on the floorboard, the passenger side floorboard. Bond, I'll stay at $500. I'm not gonna take any action considering, the facts in the new law offense. I'm not gonna take any action on the odd-on bond case. However, Mr. Gron, I am gonna add the condition that you're going to be, drug tested through pretrial release while you're out on bond. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that opportunity, Your Honor. I appreciate
Sure,
that.
you're welcome. Okay, recalling 19 CF 10171. Mr. Wright, this is Mr. Fischetto. Sir, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for trafficking in cocaine greater than 28 grams with a firearm, armed possession of LSD, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, possession of tetrahydrocannabis, possession of MDMA with intent to sell, possession of a controlled substance, possession of a firearm, and the commission of a felony. You are here with counsel this morning.
Yes, good morning again, Your Honor. Matt Rye, last name R-Y-G-H, in for Eric Barker, representing Thomas Fischetto.
Yes, sir. Would you like to be heard with respect to bond?
I would, and I've got 4 issues to address to the court, if I may. The first
Sure.
would be, we would like to clarify that this is not a bond violation. We've spoken with the state, and the state agrees.
Agreed.
The incidents giving rise to this occurred before his release.
Yes.
So that's number 1. 2 and 3 are together. The primary offense here is going to be the trafficking in cocaine with possession of a firearm. And while there were firearms in the home, we believe that there's no PC, that there's no indication or even allegation that the firearms were used in the trafficking. So yes, there were firearms in the home, but we've already got a charge of possession of possession of firearm in commission of a felony. Okay, because the possession along with the firearm constitute that. We understand that. But we don't believe that it gives rise to probable cause to trafficking with possession of a firearm. The second element on that same point is that the amount of cocaine is just barely over the threshold, and our understanding is that the drugs were weighed with the bags as well. The baggies were weighed too, and since it's just barely over the threshold, we would ask the court to take that into consideration when setting bond. Finally, we'd like to also bring to the court's attention that my client has been working with Detective Stolmeyer and intends to continue working with him. That's much more effective if he is able to post bond. If the bond is set pursuant to the normal tables on this, it's going to be too much for him to be able to bond out.
State, do you want to-
Yes, Your Honor, state requested bond be set at bond schedule of $100,000 as to count 1 because of the weapon, subsidiaries as to all other remaining counts, Your Honor. As I told Counselor earlier, typically if law enforcement is working with an individual and they want them to give a different bond schedule, they would have emailed me either last night, whenever the warrant was executed on the defendant, to let me know that they're heads up to do something or request something. That information did not come from law enforcement. As today I told counsel previously that if we get that, then obviously the ASA may set a bond hearing with that information from law enforcement, but we don't have that as of right now.
Okay. So with respect to issue 1 regarding the bond violation, I agree with that. I looked at the dates as well.
Thank you.
So that's a non-issue, so there'll be no action on 19 CF 9675. With regard to the probable cause as to count 1, this was an arrest pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. However, I'll take your argument into consideration when determining bond as to that amount.
Thank you.
Along with the other arguments that you made. However, if you want to swear your client, I don't know what bond he can afford. If you're asking me to deviate from the bond schedule, I don't know what would be an appropriate bond that's within his means. So I would need more information with respect to that and his ties to the community and other relevant factors in considering the bond amount.
Okay, it would be his parents posting bond, but if we'd like, we can certainly swear him in and
Okay.
talk about that. Okay.
Yes.
Sir, can you state your name for the record, please?
Thomas Joseph Fischetto Jr.
Okay. And are you currently working?
No, but I have a job interview actually this week.
Okay. Do you have any other sources of income right now?
I signed up for Uber. I'm just gonna start Ubering until I get my actual job.
Okay. If bond were to be posted, who would be posting bond?
Like who would be paying for it?
Yes, who would be paying for it?
My mother.
Okay. And what does she do?
She works at Pershing Elementary School as a paraprofessional.
Okay. Do you have, so your family lives here locally?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been working with police officers on this?
Yes.
Okay. How much bond do you believe that your mother would be able to afford to post?
Honestly, hard to tell. I'm honestly not positive.
Okay,
She-
the bond schedule is currently at $100,000. Do you believe that she would be able to afford the $10,000 that would be required minimum for a surety bond in this matter?
I don't think so.
Okay,
But
that's all I have, Your Honor.
not positive.
Okay. State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I have a couple.
Yes.
Do you have a passport, sir?
Passport?
Correct.
No.
Okay. How long have you lived here in Central Florida?
My whole life.
Do you have any other family members here besides your mom?
My father, my sister, and my brother.
Okay. Where's your job interview at today?
It's not today. I'm going in to talk to his boss, and he said he's 99% sure getting me in at MOT. They do road barricading and road flagging. He needs someone ASAP with a license that can get in and help them. They're really behind.
Where are you gonna live when you're out on bond?
Preferably my current apartment. I have a rollover IRA of $1,400 that I was going to use to pay my rent until I get some Ubering and bills, or some income flowing to get my bills taken care of.
Okay.
So that's 5875 Shoreland Trail, by the way.
This is at bond on count 1 at $20,000. Bond on count 2 will be 150. Bond on count 3, 150. Bond on count 4, 150. 5, 150. 6, 150. 7, 150. Sir, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances. You're also going to be tested through pretrial release, drug tested through pretrial release.
I understand.
I believe that's all. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have for today. Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Gary Smith.
Mr. Smith. You were here in 19 CF 10087. You were arrested for retail theft, sir. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Smith, you cannot return to the Walmart at 10500 West Colonial Drive, okay? What's Mr. Smith out of? What is that?
Your Honor, ma'am, I'd like to file for dismissal. I
Your
never,
lawyer, you can't do that today, but your lawyer will be able to help you with that, sir.
I never saw her.
I'm gonna stay your bond at $1,000. I'm not gonna take any action on 19 CF 3286. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Your lawyer will come talk to you, okay? hearing, sir, your name?
Willie Frank Blunt Jr.
Mr. Blunt, this is 19 CF 10158. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Blunt, you saw me on March 21st of 2019, and I gave you the benefit. You have 3 open driving while license suspended cases. This is
Okay.
number 4.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to talk about your case, but Mr. Wynn, I need a good, like, why would I not revoke all of his bonds? I mean, he's been given the benefit of the doubt 3 times.
Well, Your Honor, I don't believe we know where Mr. Blount was driving to. It's apparent that Mr. Blount has,
Doctor's appointments. And the
it
time
has-
that I got arrested, ma'am, I was fixing my car so my nephew can drive me to my doctor's
oh, you don't
appointment.
need- no need to talk. He-
Mr. Blount, I don't
he's-
want to put you in jail for driving without a license,
Okay.
but I feel like you're not getting it. That's my problem.
I am.
This is your 4th case this year.
Ma'am, I was placed on a program called the CAP program. For 30 years, I paid on this young man here, can tell, I've been here. And so I went to a judge, and the judge gave me community service. I did the community service, they wiped it off. Now it's back on my license. So I need to get out in order to go to the court. I was gonna go there today and pull all these old records up where Judge Arnold dismissed it because I did 4 years community service, because I should not be on this. And then I'm gonna get an attorney, because this is violating my 4th, 5th, 8th, and 14th Amendment. Keep arresting me for driving a license. I did community service on it. When Judge Arnold looked at it, he said, Mr. Blunt, and what happened in Orange County, the community service didn't report it. That's why it was on me. But now it's back on me again. You can see about 2 years ago, I had my license and wasn't a habitual offender. But now all this back on me, and I paid 1 ticket. That was in 1989, and that put me as a habitual offender. Not with you guys, but with DMV. So another judge said, another of my attorneys said, Mr. Blunt, don't pay the tickets. I've got to get all these records and ask each judge to reprimand them or write them a lesser charge and a driver's license. Because she said, if you send it to DMV, they're going to suspend it indefinitely, because I got 2 priors now. But by me paying for a late ticket, that suspended me.
I hear you, Mr. Blount, I do, and you need to get that taken care of, because right now you don't have a license.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
I know. Listen, I'm gonna get it. I gotta get it done today. I'm going tomorrow, whenever.
Mr. Blount, I'm gonna leave your bond set at $2,500. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna revoke your bonds. If I see you in this courtroom again with this ticket,
Okay.
I'm setting them all at some end.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, when you see me again, I'll have those licenses.
Well, I hope I don't see you again.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Not under these circumstances.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Sean Brown.
Mr. Brown, you are here in 19 CF 10151. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. 19 MM 4120, I'm going to take no action on that case at this time. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Antonio Perez.
Mr. Perez, you are here in 19 CF 9863. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause habeas. For the offense of attempted robbery with a deadly weapon and with a mask. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna order that you are not to return to the 7-Eleven at 5203 Conway Road. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond, and you are not to have any contact with Forrest Nichols or Miguel Sanchez. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
We have one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, the victim stated that he was behind the counter conducting a transaction when I guess Hispanic male came with a knife attempting to rob the 7-Eleven. The crime line received 2 tips stating it was this defendant as the suspect in the potential attempted robbery, They were able to get his driver's license and address using different means of investigation. I believe some of the facial recognition was shown from what the defendant's picture looked like and the witnesses from the 7-Eleven. They pulled information from a pawn shop, it looks like as well, where transactions were occurred with this defendant's thumbprint, driver's license, and also surveillance video from that. Based on that, Your Honor, I don't think the defendant is entitled to a bond based on the attempted robbery with the mask and with the deadly weapon.
Your Honor, I think an attempted robbery, it's not a punishable by life offense because it's an attempt. So we'd ask for a bond, a reasonable bond.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's charged as F1, it's not charged as PBO.
It is nothing?
Yeah, look, we filed as, it was a non-arrest case that the state filed information on.
Oh, okay,
And it's filed as the F1,
okay.
based on that information, Your Honor. And it's like the defendant's criminal history, he's also been in DOC for a robbery with a deadly weapon. Previously, we'd asked for a $25,000 bond as to this case.
So, Mr. Wynn.
Are you gonna set up?
I'm gonna give him a bond,
Oh.
he's entitled to a bond, yes. I'm asking if you want to be heard as to the amount.
Oh,
I'm going to prison for 8 years.
Your Honor, we request just a reasonable.
Okay, I think I remember you,
Last
Mr.
week, I
Perez.
was promised if I signed the plea, this case was going on. I was promised that.
That may be true, Mr. Perez, so right now, I'm just gonna set a bond on the case,
I don't need a bond.
and it doesn't sound like you're going anywhere, does he have a hold? DOC detainer, so you're not going anywhere anyway?
I know that.
Okay.
And the defense would just ask for a reasonable bond, Your Honor. So I don't
I'm
have
gonna
a
set it at
specific.
$20,000 with the other conditions. Mr. Perez, you need to get in contact with your lawyer and let them know that you've been I-8 on this case, and now maybe they can do what you think they're supposed to do, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
There's nothing written.
Good morning, your name?
My name is James Stone, Jr.
Mr. Stone, you were arrested in 19 CF 10154 for possession of ecstasy. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bonds are at $1,000.
Your Honor, can we swear the defendant in to take some testimony? It's indicated he can't afford a bond. He requests a ROR.
Is the qualification for PTR correct?
Based on the charge.
Oh, okay. I'll place Mr. Stone on control release.
We have RUA as well, Your Honor.
with random analysis.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Good morning, your name?
Jason Halcom.
Mr. Halcom, this is 19M01316. You were arrested for open container. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $250, sir.
The offer of adjudication credit time, sir.
He's on probation, state probation.
Your Honor, states can make all offers on all legal cases.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Lloyd Halliburton.
Mr. Halliburton, this is 19M01317. You were arrested for open container. I find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
I just want to resolve it.
All right.
Adjudication credit time, sir.
Okay. The offer is an adjudication of guilt and credit for time served. Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, no,
All right. I need you to sign the plea form, please. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020. You've got 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Good morning. My name is Travis Grimes.
Mr. Grimes, you were here in 19MM 5957. You were arrested for trespass in a structure. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Has the offer been conveyed to Mr. Grimes?
Adjudication credit time, sir, no return unless he has a medical emergency.
Your Honor, the defendant has indicated he would like to accept that offer and answer a plea of no contest. I think he needs to. The defendant is blind,
Okay.
so he can't read the plea form. So it either needs to be read to him or.
Well, why don't you take a moment and go over it with him and
Okay.
ask him if he has any questions?
Your Honor, I've gone over the form with him, and he does want to enter a plea of no contest.
I can't say
Okay.
anything. I can't see. I can't see. Can you put, do I have to sign this, Judge, if I can't see? Because I don't know what I'm signing. I got a big trust issue like that. My wife ain't here, so she can't read around it or nothing like that.
All right, I'll have your lawyer sign it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm going, that's it today. Thank you. God bless you. Am I done?
Nope, we're not done.
Excuse me.
Mr.
She
Grimes,
isn't
I know your lawyer just told me that he went over the plea form with you and all of the rights contained in it. Do
Yes,
you
sir.
have any,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up today?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am. I'm not a drug addict.
All right, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, and you cannot return to Orlando Regional Medical Center, sir, unless you have a valid medical reason to do so.
What's the cost?
$323.
By when?
1 year from today. You can pay before that, but they have to be paid by 1 year from today.
I got that on paper.
You will get paperwork.
Thank you. What's your
You're
name?
Judge Carter.
All right, Carter. Paid money. I'm just got that paper that I didn't sign. Can I get that paper that I didn't sign?
A copy of the plea form? I think
Yeah.
they give you one. They would have given you one this morning already, like,
Tell me the
in
same
that
one
you
I got
have
this
there.
morning?
There should be a copy in there
This
for you,
one?
sir. Can't see it,
Okay.
but they
This one-
normally give one
is
to
this the
everyone.
one I got this morning?
Can you tell him if that's it, Mr. Lee?
That's
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right,
All
God
right.
bless you, ma'am.
You too, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Brian Matthews.
Mr. Matthews, you are here in 19 MM 5965. You were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender.
There's no offer in this case, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Matthews, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, sir. You need to stay in contact with your lawyer so you get your next court date. In fact, he'll get a court date, right, on a misdemeanor? So when you leave the jail, sir, they're going to give you a court date. Make sure you keep that and show up to court. Otherwise, they'll issue a no bond warrant for your arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Did I tell you, did I also tell you that you can't go back to the Walmart? Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Randall Redpath.
Mr. Redpatch, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for possession of drug paraphernalia and driving while license suspended or revoked. Your bond is $2,000 on each count. If you are unable to post that bond, Seminole County is going to come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there, sir.
Okay.
All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jalen Daquan Alexander.
Mr. Alexander, this is 19 CF 10138. You were arrested for carjacking and battery on a person 65 years of age or older. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You also have 19 CF 10141. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There's also probable cause for that offense, and I'll also appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond in that matter will be $1,000. Steve, can you tell me the offense level for carjacking?
based on it not having not being a weapon, it's like in 2B,
In subsection B, yes.
so it would be an F1 error. Not a big deal.
Agreed. Okay.
I don't see any allegation of a weapon he slammed
The hood or the
the
trunk.
trunk. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Alexander, you're not to return to 1818 North Dean Road, that's the auto trender, or 10025 East Colonial Drive. You are also not to have any contact with Raymond Lipinski. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are also not to have any contact with Noel Schaefer. Your bond on count 1 is $20,000, your bond on count 2 is $150,000. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir?
Alapopia Allen, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 10128. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling, burglary of a conveyance, grand theft over $100 from the dwelling or curtilage, and petty theft with 2 prior convictions. There's probable cause for the offenses. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to return to 3809 Pembroke Drive. You're not to have any contact with Roy Davis. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000, your bond on count 2 is $150, your bond on count 3 is $150, and your bond on count 4 is $150. Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jashawn Berry.
Mr. Berry, you're here in 19 CF 8489 pursuant to a probable cause warrant for the offenses of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is going to be $500. Thank you. Is that okay? Oh, I do. Mr. Berry, you also have 15 CF 13090. It's alleged that you violated your community control by committing the new offense of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon on June 6th of 2019 in Orange County, Florida, by also committing the new offense of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon on June 6th of 2019. You didn't report to probation as instructed on June 25th.
June 25th, I supposed to have been in.
It also states that on June 25th, you were instructed to report to probation and you did fail to carry out the instruction by failing to report as directed. You also failed to submit an hourly accounting of all your activities on a daily log to your community control officer upon request. And that you reported that you did not go to New Jersey as told by the officer and deputy. Your bond in that matter is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, and you'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Sherry Bimbo.
Ma'am, you're here in 19 CF 10133. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling and theft from a person 65 years of age or older. pursuant to a probable cause warrant. You are not to return to 10300 Windermere Chase Boulevard. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms while out on bond. Set your bond at 5,000 on count 1 and 2,500 on count 2. Thank you. She doesn't say she qualified. Well, I'll delete that then. 'Cause I can't place her on there, right, if she doesn't qualify. She doesn't qualify, right? So then we just delete.
Technically, no, but it was on the warrants.
Right, okay, so we'll just delete that part, please. Ms. Bimbo, were you gonna hire your own attorney, or do you need to see if you qualify for the public defender? You didn't fill out the affidavit.
Yeah, I didn't because my family told me they was getting me a lawyer, but I wanted to get a public defender now.
Okay, are you working?
No.
Do you have any source of income?
No.
All right, based upon your testimony, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, your name?
Toby Branham.
Mr. Branham, this is 19 CF 90420. You are arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for possession of ecstasy and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Should I have an out on bond form for Mr. Branham? Because the face sheet says he has an open case 19 CF 7911.
What was the last four, Your Honor?
19 CF 7911.
It was an entry error.
It's an error?
Entry error, correct.
Okay, that's an error.
Your Honor, if we could be heard with respect to bond.
Sure.
It appears that this case is an extension of the case that he was already out on. So we'd ask that these be treated as subsidiaries and to, that case. It looks like, that at the time of the original arrest, and I guess 19 CF 9 or 7911, these charges could have been brought then, and they weren't, and then it was later, a warrant was later filed.
So is that case resolved?
I
No, Your Honor.
do not believe so.
So it is an open case? No, the warrant supports exactly what Mr. Nguyen is saying. I don't know why because he was allegedly running and they tackled him and they searched him, and I don't know why he wasn't arrested on scene for this offense and why a warrant was obtained. But, what are the charges in 19 CF 7911?
The charges, I believe, are grand theft of a motor vehicle and resisting without violence.
And he posted bond and on those, he is out on bond.
Right, so he was,
Okay. And then he was rearrested on this for a warrant. I'm gonna release Mr. Brano on his own recognizance as to this case number
Thank you.
with all the previous conditions on your, from the prior case, sir, okay? All right, thank you.
yes, they should.
All right, good morning, sir, your name?
Orlando Burnside.
Mr. Burnside, you're here in 18 CF 17529. Sir, you failed to appear for pretrial conference on July 2nd of 2019. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they were not previously appointed, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
James Bonds.
Mr. Bynes, this is 19 CF 10110. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. I'm going to delete the pretrial release requirement from the capias. The bond is $1,000. Sir, you are not to return to the Walmart at 8101 South John Young Parkway.
Correct.
You also have case number 19MM5970. You were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to 846 South Kirkman Road, and your bond, sir, is $250.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, your name?
Michael Compton.
Oh, Mr. Cabrera?
Compton.
It's mental health, Your Honor.
We'll reset. You're Mr. Compton?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Compton, this is 19 CF 10129. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling and grand theft greater than $100 from a dwelling or curtilage. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to 3809 Pembroke Drive. You're not to have any contact with El Polipia Allen or any contact with Roy Davis. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir.
Cruz Rodriguez, Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
Good morning, your name, sir?
Brian Dundas.
Mr. Dundas, this is 19 CF 10160. You were arrested for possession of possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. At this time, sir, I'm going to place you on pretrial. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Tamara K. Griffin.
Ms. Griffin, this is 19 CF 10152. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. You were also arrested in 19 MO 1315 for open container, which there's also probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you, ma'am, on your own recognizance as to both of these matters. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with your lawyer. That way you get notice of your next court date. Otherwise, if you fail to show up for court, they'll issue a no bond warrant for your arrest, ma'am.
You're gonna have the MO case.
They're letting you go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Understand? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
So I'm get out? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I will go to court. Always.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Matthew Hagan.
Mr. Hagan, this is 19 CF 9561. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for burglary of a structure and grand theft third degree. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
You are not to return to JJ's Waste and Recycling, sir. Your bond. It's gonna be $2,500 on count one, and $150 on count two. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Winifred Harrigan.
Ms. Harrigan, this is 18 CF 16678. You failed to appear for pretrial on June 10th of 2019. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they were not previously appointed.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. I didn't understand what you just said.
The entire thing?
No, just something about public defender. I haven't been able to get in touch with him.
Okay. I didn't know if you'd already had the public defender to represent you or not. So what I said was if they were not previously appointed, I was going to appoint them.
Okay,
All right?
I do have one, but I can't get him on the phone.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Hakeem Henry.
Mr. Henry, this is 19 CF 3558. Sir, you failed to appear for arraignment on July 9th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Matisha Howell.
This is 18 CF 17606. Ma'am, you failed to appear for a case management conference on July 3rd of this year. Your bond is set at none, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning. Your name, please?
Leo Lejeune.
Mr. Lejeune, this is 19 CF 3751. You failed to appear for case management conference on May 22nd of this year. Your bond, sir, is $5,000. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Brad Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, this is 18 CF 17967. You failed to appear for pretrial on June 19th of this year. Your bond is set at none, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning, Travis Dantel Marshall.
Mr. Marshall, you're here in 19 CF 10153. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Um, 19 CF 5854, sir, I'm going to revoke your bond in that matter, and that will be set at none. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Bond for 19 CF 10153 is $1,500. But there is no bond on the out-of-run case. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Kevin Ortiz.
Mr. Ortiz. You're here. In 19 CF 10114. You were arrested for possession of heroin, possession possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, Mr. Ortiz. You need to stay in contact with your lawyer to make sure you get notice of your next court date, okay? If you fail to show up for court, they will issue a no bond warrant for your arrest. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Joe Patterson.
Mr. Patterson, this is 19 CF 10111. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions, resisting officer without violence, and trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to return to the Publix at 400 East Central Boulevard. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Your bond on count 3 is $100. You also have 19 MM 4671. You failed to appear for the offense of petty theft for arraignment on June 26th of 2019, and your bond in that matter is $250, sir. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Narkeith Payne.
Mr. Payne, this is 18 CF 14785. You failed to appear for a status hearing on July 8th. Your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. You have 19 CT 92, and I'll take no action on that matter at this time.
So I'll no bun.
You don't on the failure to appear. You have to have file a motion with the trial judge in order to get a bond on that case. All right.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Jeremy Smith.
Mr. Smith, this is 19 CF 10137. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine with a weapon, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
This is false identity.
I'm gonna set your bond at $2,500 on count 1, 150 on count 2, 100 on count 3, 150 on count 4, and 100 on count 5. Thank you, sir.
And with regards to the count 3, I don't think I saw anything in the affidavit with regards to cannabis. Oh, Your Honor, I recall. I withdraw that.
Okay. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Demarquis Stroman.
Mr. Stroman, you failed to appear in 17 CF 16183 for a VOP status hearing on June 19th. Your bond is set at none, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you if they weren't previously appointed, sir. Thank you.
Do I have a court date?
You do not yet, if it's a VOP, you've already been arraigned, so you'll have to talk to your lawyer about getting a new court date. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Christopher Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, this is 19 CF 10146. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for burglary of an occupied structure and petty theft with 2 prior convictions. You are not to return, sir, to any location that sells Florida lottery tickets.
To any location?
Any location that sells Florida lottery tickets.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Could be hard to get gas.
right, I mean, what about a grocery store? They do.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I know. I don't know. I'm gonna delete that requirement on the warrant, sir. Bond on count 1's 2,500, your bond on count 2 is gonna be 500. You also have 19 CF 10144, it's a petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond for that matter is going to be $1,000. Yeah, sir, what I'm gonna do though, instead of the no return to any place that sells a lotto ticket, you can return to the Speedway at 2902 West Sand Lake Road. That's the alleged scene of the first offense. The second place is 7-Eleven at 801 West Sand Lake Road. And then you've got 19 CF 10106, you were arrested for robbery pursuant to a probable cause warrant. You are not to return to the food mart at 2006 Curry Ford Road. Your bond in that matter is going to be $2,500. And then I'm not going to take any action on 19 CF 9228. All of these alleged offense dates are prior to the date of arrest on the out on bond case. Thank you, sir.
So my original bonds, because I was already out on bond, those are reinstated?
I just did revoke them. I didn't take any action on them.
Okay.
Or on it, okay? Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Heidi Williams.
Ms. Williams, this is 19 CF 10149. You were arrested for possession of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a convenience store, possession of heroin, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting officer without violence, and littering. There is probable cause. Were you gonna hire a lawyer, ma'am, or do you wanna see if you qualify for the public defender?
I have to have a public defender.
Do you have a job, ma'am?
I won't after this, but I did.
Your Honor, Heidi Williams, I have only 2 counts here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
didn't
looking
think all
at the
that was
wrong.
right.
What happened to Ms. Thomas? We'll reset this one. I'm sorry, Ms. Williams. Your case is 19 CF 10139. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Ms. Williams didn't qualify for pretrial release? Pardon me?
Do not provide any information.
Ms. Williams, you live here in Orlando?
I do.
Where do you work?
I work at Community Thrift Store on Edgewater.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here for a year.
Do you have family here in town?
I do.
Who lives here?
I have a brother that's moving to the east side of Orlando on the 19th.
Ms. Williams, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, okay? You're going to need to stay in contact with your lawyer to find out when your next court date is.
Okay.
If you fail to show up for court, they will issue a no bond warrant for your arrest.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name, ma'am?
LaMonica Wright.
Ms. Wright, you're here in 19 CF 10156. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, neglect of a child, driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions, providing false ID to law enforcement, and possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
And, Your Honor, we had a probable cause challenge to the count 2.
Sure, go ahead.
The affidavit has no mention of the children's ages, the amount of time left unsupervised. The report makes it seems like it was a brief, they were unattended to briefly. So we would argue there's no probable cause as to count 2.
Okay, state.
I'm trying to see, I don't have the victim's ages, and I'm trying to see our system.
And I also had probable cause challenges to, count 5 and 6, where there's nothing in the affidavit as to any drug paraphernalia or any cannabis.
They request 24 hours, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree I'll give you the 24 hours, but there's no supporting facts with respect to count 2 or 5 and 6. So what I'll do is,
Your
I'm gonna
Honor,
say the bond.
can I be heard as to the 24 hours?
Sure.
With regards to count 1, 3, and 4, we didn't make a probable cause challenge to that, obviously, so we would request a reasonable, bond, but the bond amount could be set an amount that reasonably where, the state could bring the charges later on those. I mean, I don't know if 24 hours is
Your Honor,
necessary.
Once the probable cause is challenged, that means the whole affidavit is challenged, and therefore, state will request the 24 hours that we're entitled to find PC on all counts at that point.
Okay. Agreed. However, Ms. Wright is entitled to a bond, so what I'm gonna do is I'm
Right.
gonna set her bond. If state does not provide the additional information within the 24 hours required, the counts in which probable cause has not been found, she'll be released on her own recognizance as to those counts.
Okay.
Okay? So on count 1, I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000. Count 2, I'm gonna set bond at $100. $50. Count 3, I'm gonna set at $150. Count 4 will be $150. Count 5 is 100, and count 6 will be 100.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, without finding PC, you modified the bonds on counts 5 and 6? I know you did on 2, but on 5 and 6?
Yeah, she's entitled to a bond, so yes, I did. And if the state doesn't provide probable cause, then I'll release her. Two, 5, and 6. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Christy Hall.
Ms. Hall, this is 19MO1318. You were arrested for indecent conduct. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint a public defender. Was there an offer relayed for Ms. Hall?
No, Your Honor.
Is there a reason why?
I'm not gonna offer this kind of offense, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to release Ms. Hall on her own recognizance at this time. Ms. Hall, they're going to give you a court date when you're released from the jail. Make sure you hold on to that and you show up for court, otherwise you're going to get arrested and there'll be no bond on the warrant, okay? Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Jackson.
What?
D. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, this is 19MO1319. You were arrested for state misdemeanors. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer relayed on Mr. Jackson?
The state has relayed an offer, Your Honor, and I'll briefly discuss it with him.
One case.
And the defendant would like to enter a plea no contest.
All right, what's the offer?
The offer was he'd be adjudicated guilty 3 days, Orange County Jail, 2 days, I believe, credit time served, and court costs.
Mr. Jackson, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Alvarez? Are you Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Okay, so you're here in 19MM5967. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender.
And a brief moment to discuss with.
So then, Jenny, will you guys just close that out? Or how does that? Oh, okay.
Your Honor, the state has relayed an offer in this case. It would be a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, no return to the scene, and court costs, and the defendant would like to enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Mr. Alvarez, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
I will accept your plea. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. You also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. And then 19 MM 4433, I'll take no action on that case at this time. Thank you.
You're gonna have a break?
Sure. Good morning, are you Mr. Brown?
Hello.
Hello. This is 19 19 MM 472, sir, you were arrested for criminal mischief, over $200, but under $1,000. There's probable cause, sir. I will appoint the public defender. And I'm assuming there's no offer at this time?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Brown, I'm gonna place you on pretrial release at this time. I'm also going to order. Hmm? Oh. He's out on bond in another county? Out on bond? Oh.
So even, so I have a question, so even if he's has a out-of-state bond, I'm assuming a warrant from Pennsylvania, but if they won't extradite him?
The admin order says no other legal restraints for that.
Because hasn't we had them in the past where if it's a non-extradition warrant, then they still qualify?
I thought they did, but.
If it's for me, I'll do it, but I didn't see that.
Or Mr. Brown, you're not to have any contact with Jerion Schneck? Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Nestor Manuel Cestero Martinez.
Sir, this is 19 MM 5960. You were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the Home Depot at 6130 East Colonial Drive. And your bond is $250, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Kevin Alexander Clayton.
Mr. Clayton, this is 19 MM 5968. You were arrested for trespass in a structure. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was an offer relayed to Mr. Clayton?
An offer was relayed, Your Honor. It was an offer of adjudication, credit time served, and court costs. In just a moment, with the defendant, determine if he would like to.
Mr. Clayton, do you want to accept the offer? Okay. Just sign the plea form, please.
There's no return to blood, Your Honor.
To the Chick-fil-A.
Here you are.
Mr. Clayton, did you read the plea form before you signed it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't return to the Chick-fil-A
Yes, ma'am.
at 6350 South Cimarron Boulevard. You will also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Right? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Vietnam veteran Ernest Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you were here in 19 MM 5949, sir. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
Why? No.
Okay. State, is there an offer for Mr. Johnson?
Adjudication, credit for time served, no return.
All right, so do you want to accept the offer?
Yes.
Okay. Just sign the form, please. Mr. Johnson, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You are not to go back to the Lynx bus station. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. All right, thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, your name, please?
Stacy Foster. Judge, I was recently released on a 33-day motion. I heard that could be revoked.
I don't think so. Let me take a look, Mr.
Okay, I
Foster.
was worried about that.
Just give me a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You were just arrested in 19 MM 5956 for trespass on property after warning.
Yes, ma'am.
There's not probable cause
Really?
for the new arrest. State.
State will request 24 hours.
I'll grant the request for the 24 hours unless, Mr. Nguyen, you want to talk to him about that. I'll stay the bond at 500, and I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case.
State be willing to amend the offer to a withhold.
No, he has 12 prior misdemeanors and 5 felonies.
Okay.
So it'll be.
Your Honor, he would rather enter a plea today with regards to the alleged offense, and the state has relayed an offer. And the offer was that he'd be adjudicated, credit time served, no return to the scene, and court cost.
Okay,
And
even
he'll-
though that there's not probable cause for the offense?
Even though there's no probable
You know
cause to the
that.
offense.
Okay, that's fine. I just need the plea form, please.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Mr. Foster, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. Sir, you cannot go back to 2060 Americana Boulevard. You've been trespassed. It appears from that location, so every time you go there, you're gonna get arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You also have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
So I have no revoked anything?
No, sir.
I'll be able to leave today?
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Good morning, my name's Tom Keys.
Mr. Keys, this is 19MM 5964. You were arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement in possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause for both of the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
And, Your Honor, we did have an offer from the state with
It's on
regards.
state probation.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, Your Honor, could we swear the defendant in to take some testimony with regards to his financial status? It appears he has no convictions in his history, and he's going to be unable to afford the bond. Or no criminal convictions in Florida. I correct my previous statement.
He's on probation for grand theft.
I was a withhold. Okay, so.
I mean, if you want to take it, I'll hear what he has
Would-
to say. but-
Would you be willing to release him ROR? No, okay.
He's out on probation.
Good morning, your name, sir?
John Henry Roberts Jr.
All right, Mr. Roberts. What happened to Mr. Navarez Rodriguez?
He's mental health.
Mr. Roberts, good morning. You are here. MM 5958 for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. It looks like all the out on bond forms must have been warrants that came in on the same day, because they're all the same date of arrest. See, can you, my computer's not working, can you tell me if those three out on bonds are three separate places.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Not you, Mr. Roberts.
So what?
So I want to know if each of these out on bond cases were separate offenses.
Okay.
Because they're all the same arrest date, but there's 3 forms, but I can't log on to Odyssey. Kicking me out.
The first two are, last one.
First 2 are.
Are, yes, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
The first site's taking a second to pull the.
My computer's not working.
And the last one, that is marked, no. 4-8, yes, so all 4-8, Your Honor.
Right, all 4, but they're all different places, all 4 separate, or 3 separate warrants, is what I'm trying to do.
Yes, Your Honor. So third is the Dollar General, we went to the second. Wait, no, it looks like the same location. I have about 1001 South OBT Dollar General. So one incident is from March 22nd. Another incident, we have 4-8 as the date they're contacted, but then the dates of another one is from 4-7. Same Dollar General, the OBT address, and the 4889 case.
19 CF 4889 is the Walmart, is a Walmart.
The Walmart, okay, so 2. The last 2 are both the Dollar Generals on OBT, or the same
All
Dollar
right.
General.
So the bond in 19MM 5958 is 500, and then I'm revoking the bond in all of the out on bond cases, and those are gonna be set at none. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Vaughn,
Mr. Vaughn, you were here in 19MM 5976. You were arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer related to Mr. Vaughn?
There was an offer relayed, Your Honor, as a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and court cost. And the defendant.
Mr. Vaughn, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah, I heard him. Well, I didn't read. I read over it in the holding cell, and then I just heard the plea offer that he said, and I was okay with it.
All right, sir, do you have any questions on any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No,
All right. Are you on probation?
no,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
no,
I'll accept your plea. I'm going to, is it a withhold on both counts?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to withhold adjudication on both counts, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're also gonna have to pay court costs. Those are due by July 17th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court.
okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name, please?
My name is Eusebio de Jesus Lopez.
Sir, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Levy County,
Levy.
Levy County,
Yes?
for failing to register as required. Your bond is $100,000, sir. If you are unable to post that bond, Levy County is going to come pick you up, and you will see a judge when you get there. Okay?
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Hey, Joe Feliciano.
Mr. Feliciano, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Volusia County, Florida, related to a violation of probation for possession of cannabis within 1,000 feet of a school zone. Your bond is set at none. Volusia County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
How long does it take to pick me up, do you know?
Usually around 72 hours. Okay? Sir, your name?
Greg James Neal.
Mr. Neal, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Holmes County, Florida, for failing to appear on a drug and alcohol license suspended or revoked case. Your bond is set at none. Holmes County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there, sir.
I'm sorry, I missed the last bit.
Your bond is set at none, and Holmes County is gonna come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there,
Okay.
to Holmes County.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
If I may.
Sure.
My parents have also mentioned that they'd be okay if I was released to their custody, and then they can take me to Holmes County.
I can't modify, I don't need jurisdiction over a Holmes County warrant to be able to do that, sir, but when you do see the judge in Holmes County, you can address the issue of bond there, or your release, okay?
Okay,
All right.
and will this be today? Do we know?
No, they have 72 hours to come and get you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sir, your name?
Paul Nicholas Bolino.
Mr. Volino, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Hillsborough County, Florida, related to grand theft and uttering a forged instrument. Your bond is $2,000 as to each count. And then it looks like you're here on a case, 19 CF 5452.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, I'm not gonna take any action on that case, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe I have posted bond already.
On the Hillsborough County?
4,000? Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that right, Jenny? We haven't received
I
it.
posted it last night.
Pardon me?
You still have to come to court to address the Oakview case.
Oh.
They'll process it.
Okay, because you had the hold because of your Orange County case.
Okay.
It hasn't been processed yet, but it will be.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Crystal McVeigh refused to attend. Yes, it's not, we said again, this is her second refusal. She refused yesterday as well, right?
I'm gonna find a waiver of Miss Bethia's appearance by her second refusal to come to court. There's probable cause in 19 MM 5907 for the offense of trespass on property public defender. I'm gonna say the bond at $500.
Mark Vasquez, also refused. Again, Your Honor, this is a refusal yesterday and the day before. So this is the third refusal we had, the time you said.
I will find a waiver of Mr. Vasquez's appearance based upon a second refusal to come to court in 19 MM 5919. He was arrested for displaying an identification card of another, fraudulent impersonation, or possession of a identification card of another, and providing false ID to law enforcement officer. There is probable cause for those offenses. His bond on count 1 is $100. His bond on count 2 is $100. His bond on count 3 is $100 or $500. Mr. Vasquez, I'm appointing the public defender's office. Mr. Vasquez has reporting requirements. I'm not gonna take any action on that case. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Tiana Dakotas.
This is a determination of counsel hearing in 19 CF 9974. Ms. Dakotas, are you requesting the appointment of the public defender?
Yeah.
Okay. And I see based upon your affidavit, you do qualify, so I will appoint them to represent you at this time.
All right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
My PIN number is a pen to talk to my attorney, or?
Who do we have at the podium?
Larry Shepard.
Mr. Shepard, this is case number 19 CF 9843. Okay. Mr. Shepard, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir, based upon your affidavit of insolvency that you completed. So the Office of the Public Defender is now representing you, sir. Mr. Wood should give you some information to get in contact with him, okay? Thank you. Stay, just let me know whenever you're ready.
I believe they want to do 33-day motions in the second session, Your Honor.
Oh,
In order to give the CO a chance to get inmates for a second session.
oh, that's fine. Then we'll be in recess until. Please place their appearances on the record, please.
Copy Kennedy sworn on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
And Brian Nguyen on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Oh, that's. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Ray Styles.
Mr. Stiles, you are here in 19 CF 8621. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for sale and delivery of cocaine. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor,
Yes?
is there, it appears to be two Styles. Is this,
This is Ray, are you Ray Jerome?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Junior.
Got it. That's who this is.
okay, I didn't have a, I didn't have a face sheet for,
I don't have one either, actually. For Mr. Stiles.
I didn't have a face sheet for the junior, so, but if this, I just wanted to make sure this was the correct.
The correct person. His bond is $5,000.
Oh, that's it.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Deanna Michelle Brown.
Ms. Brown, this is 19 CF 10170. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You had a probable cause challenge, Mr. Nguyen?
Yes, Your Honor. The challenge is based on the fact that, that there was no substance of any kind found. The only thing found was paraphernalia, and so no substances of any appreciative value were found. And I just think it should be called what it was. I mean, she was found with paraphernalia. I don't think she was found with any substances.
Your Honor, I believe, if you look on the second page where it says, all items were field tested on scene, a pink spoon containing a white substance will be tested positive for fentanyl.
And I would point out, it says the residue, when you go back and earlier in the report, it says that, you know, the pink spoon contained residue, would indicate that's a byproduct of the actual substance. Again, I just don't feel there's probable cause. We'd argue there's no probable cause for actual possession of a substance.
I think that there is enough to establish probable cause. However, I'm going to place Ms. Brown on pretrial release at this time. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
You guys are ready for your house.
I'm going to deny the request at this time. Sir, good afternoon.
Hey, Judge, you was expecting me?
Are you Mr. Jones?
Of course.
All right, Mr. Jones.
They call me Ready Freddy, though. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm running out of patience. I don't want to get, I'm running out of patience. I'm trying to figure out when it's going to go down.
Well, if you stop talking, I can go through your case and we can move forward. Is that all right?
Go ahead and proceed. None of this ain't being recorded, though, but go ahead.
Mr. Jones, I feel like you're being super disrespectful to me and I do not appreciate it at all. So if you're not going to be respectful to the court, then you're not going to have your case heard today. Sir, Sir, you were arrested for battery on a uniformed security officer and resisting officer without violence. Mr. Wayne, you had a probable cause challenge.
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the resisting without violence, in the affidavit, it just says he remained aggressive during arrest. I believe the accompanying charge would be battery on a uniform, but he's not charged with resisting an officer with violence. He's charged with resisting an officer without violence. So there's no discernible facts indicating the without resisting an officer without violence. And just a statement, he remained aggressive during arrest without indicating how he remained aggressive. I would argue there's no probable cause for that.
See, one could construe that by him remaining aggressive during it could be resisting, obstructing, or opposing. It's no requirement that it show exactly a detail of how he did it, besides the officer saying that he was trying to detain him and he remained aggressive and not complying. So statement said there's enough for resisting.
There is probable cause for both counts. Count 1, bond is $2,500, and count 2, bond is $100. Yes. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Luis Lozada.
Mr. Lozada, this is 19 CF 10162. You were arrested for possession of fentanyl. There is probable cause. You were also arrested for no valid driver's license in 19 C25277, which there is also probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases, sir. Mr. Lozada, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer so that you get notice of your next court date, sir, okay? Thank you.
No valid case number, Your Honor.
The what?
No valid case number? 19 CT.
5277. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Kareem Muhammad.
Mr. Mohammed, this is 19 CF 10169. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Mr. Mohammed, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, okay? Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer so that you get notice of your next court date. If you miss court, you will have a no bond warrant issued for your arrest, sir, okay? Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Michelangelo Sapio.
How about Mr. Pilara? And you're Mr. Sapio?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sapio, this is 19 CF 10166. You were arrested for retail theft greater than $300, petty theft with 2 prior convictions, and conspiracy to commit retail theft. There's probable cause for the offenses. I'll appoint, well, this says, sir, that you do not qualify. Do you make $600 every week?
No, I make it that week, you know. I don't make it all the time. I work is sporadic. I don't make that much money.
So it's inconsistent?
Excuse me?
It's inconsistent, you don't make it all the time?
Right, yes, ma'am.
Do you have any, it says that you have $140 in cash, is that right?
Excuse me?
$140 in cash?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Assets?
Yeah.
No other assets?
No, I don't have no property, no nothing.
All right, I'm gonna appoint the
I'm
pub-
qualified for, I'm trying to get disability.
I understand, sir. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000, your bond on count 2 is $150, your bond on count 3 is $150. And you're not to return to the Home Depot at 4403 Millennia Plaza Way. All right?
Yes,
Thank you, sir. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Ray Styles.
Mr. Stiles, you were arrested in 19 CF 9642 pursuant to a probable cause warrant for sale and delivery of cocaine. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yes.
Gonna set your bond, sir, at $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna revoke the bond in 19 CF 7255 and reset it at $2,000. Gonna revoke the bond in 19 CF 4577, count 1. Bond is going to be $2,500. Count 2 is gonna be $500.
Your Honor, did you reset the bond in CF 7255? Is that one of the cases?
Yes, it's
Okay.
2,000, bond in
And-
19 CF 4577, it's 2,500 on count 1, 500 on count 2, and then 19 CF 4572, bond is $2,000.
Okay, and Your Honor, I would just point out with regards to 2019 CF 7255, the incident date on that was 5/20, and the incident date in this warrant was 4/30.
The incident date that I have for the warrant is June 13th.
Oh, June
or
13th.
June 7th.
Okay. And that, okay, the beginning of the warrant, I read it said on April 30th.
I don't think that you have the right warrant.
Okay, okay, Your Honor, yeah.
This says Ray Jerome Stiles, blackmail, 2/14/59.
I was looking at the affidavit of the affidavit in support of the warrant. I was given the narrative.
That on June 7th, 2019, at
Oh, okay.
approximately 13:38 hours.
Okay, maybe I had the wrong warrant there. Okay, I apologize, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Haley Young.
Miss Young, this is 19MM 4524. You failed to appear for arraignment on July 2nd of this year. Your bond is set at $2,000, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. good afternoon. Your name?
Sheriff,
Sir, you were here for an out-of-county warrant from Volusia County for tampering with physical evidence. Your bond is set at none. Volusia County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there, okay?
can I speak to you for 1 second, Judge?
Sure.
I'm on probation, obviously, and my probation officer, I had a scheduled date, which I didn't miss my appointment. I don't have, my license is suspended. And on the way there, it was storming real bad. I'm a 3-year-old. Well, I got there right as they were closing, and then he said that he wanted me to come in the next day, and I don't drive, and I couldn't make it. My boss had left me on the job. I had called my probation officer. I hadn't heard nothing from it, and I was scheduled to see my probation officer today. My wife's disabled. She's at home. My 3-year-old. Like, if I could just get a bond, I'll go and handle it.
I understand. I can't give you a bond. I don't have any jurisdiction over Volusia County.
Right.
So I'm unable to give you a bond, but you will see a judge when you get to first appearance there.
Right.
And you'll be able to explain your situation and speak to a lawyer there, but I don't have any authority to grant your bond, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Are we good for the 33-day motion?